In recent years, American airports have had to deal with a lot of problems as air travel has become more popular. To fix these problems and improve the travel experience for passengers, the U.S. government has given $1 billion in infrastructure grants to help airports make changes. In this video, we'll look at the topic from many different angles and talk about the problems and huge benefits that these grants bring to the aviation business and the economy as a whole. With $1 billion in infrastructure grants, American airports are changing the sky. Find out about the amazing changes, great benefits, and new ideas that are changing the biggest airport projects in the country. From futuristic airport hubs to green projects, you're in for a fast-paced trip into the world of cutting-edge aviation infrastructure. Get ready to be surprised as we show you how these grants are bringing American airports into a new era of connectivity, efficiency, and passenger happiness. Prepare to fly high and see the amazing changes in air travel like never before. One of the main goals of the $1 billion in infrastructure funds given to American airports is to improve the travel experience for passengers. These funds are making it possible for amazing improvements that will change the way we fly and make it an experience we'll never forget. People often think that security checks slow down airport travel. But with the infrastructure funds, airports are using new technologies and methods to make the security screening process faster and easier. Automated screening lanes, biometric systems, and high-tech scanners are being used to improve speed and security at the same time. This means that passengers will have shorter wait times, easier transitions, and less worry. The funds are helping to put in place digital solutions that make it easier to connect and give travelers more control over their trips. Mobile apps, real-time flight updates, and self-service kiosks make it easy for passengers to handle their reservations, get the information they need, and get around the airport quickly. These digital improvements give people more freedom and control, making travel easier and more personalized. Immersive elements that show local culture, art, and history are being added to airports to make the experience more interesting and lasting. Airport terminals are getting more and more art installations, interactive displays, and selected shows. These immersive settings not only draw people in but also show what makes the area special. This makes the trip through the airport more interesting and enriching. Moreover, giving American airports $1 billion infrastructure grants does more than just make flying easier. It helps the economy grow and create jobs, creating many chances for local communities and the economy as a whole. Improvements to airport infrastructure lead to the creation of direct jobs in the aviation business. Airports hire more people to run the new facilities, deal with more passengers, and take care of the new infrastructure. There are people who work at airports as security guards, customer service, baggage handlers, and as repair staff. Direct job opportunities help the economy stay stable and give people dependable ways to make money. When airports are updated, they bring in more travelers, which helps the tourist and hospitality industries. Better airport facilities and connections make tourist locations easier to get to and more appealing. The growing number of tourists drives up demand for hotels, restaurants, entertainment places, and other services related to tourism. In turn, this creates jobs in the tourism and hospitality industries, which helps local companies and makes the economy grow. Giving infrastructure funds to American airports is a strong way to grow the economy and create jobs. There are more direct and indirect job opportunities. Tourism and hospitality do well. Business and trade growth and service industries that aren't directly related to the building do well. The economic benefits spread throughout the town, making it better off and making people's lives more stable. Just wow! Sustainability in the world gets a lot of attention. Airports are using more and more eco-friendly practices and technologies to reduce their impact on the earth and help build a better future. With infrastructure grants, airports can build and plan buildings in ways that are good for the environment. Some of these are using sustainable materials, letting in as much natural light as possible, insulating well, and adding green areas. Green building designs use less energy, make the air inside better, and have less of an effect on the environment over the life of the building. These kinds of designs are good for the health of passengers, workers, and the environment. Airports can invest in renewable energy sources like solar and wind power with the help of infrastructure funds. By putting solar panels on the roofs of terminals and parking garages or wind turbines near the airport, clean energy can be used. This cuts down on the use of fossil fuels and reduces greenhouse gas pollution. By switching to green energy, Airports help to slow down climate change and encourage other places to do the same. Not only that, but many airports also have carbon credit programs as part of their efforts to be more environmentally friendly. Infrastructure grants help pay for the planning and building of projects that make up for the carbon emissions that airport activities create. Among these projects are efforts to replant trees, investments in projects that use green energy, and support for community-based sustainability projects. Carbon offset programs help airports become carbon neutral or even carbon positive. This makes a big difference in the fight against global warming. I just can't take it all in. How about you all? Well, since there are pros and cons to everything, let's talk about some of the bad things. Even though giving infrastructure funds to American airports has many benefits, it is important to deal with the problems that can cause projects to be delayed or stopped. When multiple outside factors are added to the complexity of building airport infrastructure, it can change timelines and cause problems during construction. Airport growth projects often need a lot more money than the amount of the grant. When getting more money, lining up financial resources, or dealing with cost overruns, there can be delays. Budget issues could also change the size of the project, causing some parts to be changed or moved back. Local, state, and federal governments all have different permits and rules that airport building projects must follow. It can take time to get permits, follow environmental rules, and deal with concerns from regulatory bodies. Delays can happen if permits aren't given on time or if more studies or changes are needed to meet government standards. Logistics, the availability of workers, and delays in the supply chain all pose problems for construction projects. Finding building materials, setting up delivery times, and making sure skilled workers are available can all affect how quickly a job can be finished. Construction can also be slowed down or stopped by things outside of the workers' control, such as bad weather, strikes, or situations on the site that were not expected. During the building process, there may also be surprises or problems. These can be things like archaeological discoveries, problems with the environment, underground services, or geological problems. To deal with these unplanned events, you may need more time, resources, and changes to the project plan, which could cause delays. Airports are taking steps to reduce their environmental impact with the help of infrastructure funds and a growing awareness of the importance of sustainable practices. Airports can make a lot of noise, especially if they are near private areas. Noise is caused by things like airplanes, cars on the ground, and buildings. This noise can be annoying to people who live nearby. Airports take steps to reduce noise pollution by putting up noise barriers, soundproofing buildings, adjusting flight paths, and using quieter planes and ground equipment. These efforts help reduce the damage to local neighborhoods and make people's lives better. Putting up infrastructure for airports could cut into natural areas and hurt biodiversity. Airports are thinking more and more about how their plans and designs affect the world. This includes doing ecological assessments, finding places that are vulnerable, and taking steps to protect and improve biodiversity. For example, airports could make wildlife corridors, set up green spaces, and help local conservation efforts to lessen the effect on plants and animals. Airports try to follow environmental rules and standards set by the business. They work closely with regulatory bodies to make sure that projects follow environmental rules, such as getting the right permits for building and running the project. Also, airports try to get environmental standards like LEED or ISO 14001, which show that they care about sustainability and doing things that are good for the environment. Infrastructure that is getting old is a problem at many airports in the United States. Due to normal wear and tear, the current facilities, runways, terminals, and other important parts may need major upgrades or replacements. Infrastructure that is getting old can make operations less efficient, raise safety issues, and make it harder to meet growing passenger demand. As the number of people using airports in the United States keeps going up, many of them are running out of space. When there isn't enough room, there is more traffic. People have to wait longer, and customers are less happy. To meet the rising demand, terminals, runways, parking lots, and other important infrastructure must be expanded. But expanding capacity can be hard because there isn't much land available, there are concerns about the environment, and there are rules to follow. Airports often have trouble getting enough money, which makes it hard for them to build the equipment they need. Infrastructure grants can help, but they might not cover all of the needed expenses. Airports need to find other ways to pay for building projects like public-private partnerships or user fees. When there isn't enough money, Important changes and expansions may be delayed, cut back, or take longer to finish. Giving American airports $1 billion in infrastructure grants shows that the government wants to improve the aviation business and deal with the problems airports face. Even though building and renovation projects have drawbacks and problems, the huge benefits can't be denied. With these grants, airports can improve the experience of their passengers, help the economy grow, make the airport safer and more secure, improve environmental sustainability, and help area development and connections. For more informational videos like this, stay with us.